betrayal. A bunch of mob bosses gathered around a table being served by men who have literally become human furniture. The bald guy in the corner is smoking 10 cigarettes at the same time. Like bro is personally beefing with a vape pen. Meanwhile, one of the lackeys tastes the president's wine to make sure it isn't poisoned. Gets the all clear. The waiter serves the drink and bounces immediately. The president drinks. And then, the man's eyes start bleeding. The taster swears it wasn't him, that he tested everything exactly right, that he has absolutely no idea what just happened. Outside, in the middle of the crowd, a young guy walks calmly through the street like he just grabbed a coffee. That's Hikaru. He just wrapped up another mission without breaking a sweat. Then, mid-walk, he spots a girl kissing some dude on the sidewalk. And since he's literally never kissed anyone in his life, he gets so distracted he walks face first into a vending machine. Back home, his sister Akari asks how he managed to poison the target without the taster catching on. Hikaru explains it without any drama whatsoever. For 3 full months, he slowly mixed tiny doses of poison into the taster's meals, little by little, until the guy's body built up resistance to even the most lethal compounds in existence. Akari asks if it wasn't just painfully boring to do that for that long. Hikaru confirms, yeah, it was mind-numbingly dull, but that's exactly the point. Who in their right mind would do something that insane for 3 months straight? Then Akari takes a deep breath and drops the bomb. Brother, have you thought about what we talked about before? About marriage? Hikaru chokes on the spot. He explains that their family is one of the oldest in the underworld, the Gyero family, poison specialists, and that one of them needs to step up and take the lead. Since he refused on the grounds that he's single, they tried to force him into marrying someone from an allied family he doesn't even know. But Hikaru doesn't want marriage, doesn't want kids, doesn't want any of it. In his mind, the family line ends with him, and he's fine with that. He tells Akari to walk away too and go live her life with her girlfriend. What Hikaru doesn't notice is that Akari turns her face away and cries very quietly. Later, Hikaru runs into his best friend, Entamante, a guy with absolutely insane powers over insects. The two of them are just hanging out and chatting when Entamante suddenly goes, "Bro, I'm getting married." He pulls out a photo of his fiancée with the biggest smile on his face, says she's kind, genuine, and that somehow, by some miracle of the universe, she accepted him exactly as he is. Hikaru is genuinely happy for him and jokingly calls him a traitor. Then Entamante looks at him seriously and asks, "Married or not, we're still gonna be best friends, right?" Hikaru gives a small smile and says, "Of course." Entamante summons 2 massive centipedes, and Hikaru just stares at the whole thing thinking, this guy is something else. Finding someone who actually accepts you for real, that's something he could never pull off himself. And as he watches his friend's happiness, he thinks that maybe, just maybe, marriage isn't the worst thing in the world. But the thought fades fast. Hikaru's got more work to do. This time he's received by a creepy rich guy surrounded by secretary assassins who immediately wrap their arms around Hikaru the second he walks in. The rich guy suggests Hikaru can have fun with them however he likes. Hikaru pretends to be completely unbothered and walks straight into a glass wall. The target for this mission is Mei Kinosaki, a serial marriage scammer with absolutely zero shame. Straight up trash in the client's words. She's been running wild in his territory and he wants Hikaru to make her suffer. Hikaru gets to work. He injects a toxin into Kinosaki and explains coldly, from this point on, the nerve connections throughout the body will be paralyzed one by one. The pain will feel like being stabbed all over simultaneously, and at the end, a lethal poison that will make her wish she was never born. Kinosaki tries to say they've met before. Hikaru ignores her. She tries to flirt, says he looks just like her first love. Hikaru doesn't take the bait either. Then, spitting blood, she tells the truth. Everything she did was to save her sick brother. She took the worst jobs imaginable, just to scrape together the money. With her voice already fading, she smiles and says that at least she'll die next to someone who reminds her of the person she loved most, and asks Hikaru's name. That's when the phone rings. It's Akari. She says she's already made up her mind. She'll take responsibility for the family. She'll provide an heir. Even with a girlfriend, she's actively looking for a partner within the allied family at that very moment. And then she drops the heaviest part. Their grandmother promised that if Hikaru didn't step up, she would strip Akari of her freedom and force her to have a child. Hikaru refuses to accept that. Akari fights back, screams that this is literally all she's good for anyway. Hikaru looks at Kinosaki. Kinosaki looks at Hikaru. And he, in a complete state of desperation, does the most unhinged thing he's ever done in his life. "Would you marry me? I need an heir for my family, and I'll cover all your brother's medical treatment." Kinosaki pauses, looks deep into his eyes, and then breaks into the biggest grin. "Absolutely not." And just like that, she drops the whole act, laughs, messes with him, asks if he's annoyed about getting rejected by someone who was literally dying 2 seconds ago, and confirms, yes, Hikaru is a complete maniac for proposing to someone while actively trying to kill them. Hikaru thinks for a second and agrees. That does make sense. Kinosaki, getting a little more serious, tells him the first step is just being honest. That with time and a whole lot of rejection, a whole lot, eventually someone will come along. The creepy blonde guy in the corner starts complaining, says the contract fee wasn't cheap, and that Hikaru needs to finish the job already. Hikaru ignores him and speaks quietly, more to himself than anyone else. He only kills scum. It's not about good or evil. If he killed an innocent person, he'd never sleep again. But sometimes he thinks about having a peaceful life with someone who actually matters, and he hates thinking about it. He knows it'll never happen because he's given everything to the family, and showing that side of himself would be a death sentence. Kinosaki laughs softly and says, "Look at that, you're already opening up to a complete stranger. That's actually a good sign. Meet as many people as you can, be yourself, take the L's, and eventually someone shows up." Then she asks with a tired voice for him to finish it. Says she really is trash, that she doesn't even deserve her own brother's forgiveness. The blonde guy yells at Hikaru to wrap it up. Hikaru refuses. He proposes a deal. He takes care of Kinosaki's brother. In exchange, she helps him find someone to marry. Kinosaki lights up at the idea, but the blonde guy shoots her in the hair and makes it clear that neither of them is walking out of there alive. Hikaru looks around at the whole crew, con artists, corrupt officials, people who blackmail honest folks. Scum. Then he injects a stimulant straight into his own neck, and suddenly everything around him slows to a crawl. Bullets flying, guys shooting, and Hikaru just flowing through it all like it's a dance. He hooks himself to the ceiling and poisons the entire room in seconds. Then he administers the antidote to Kinosaki, calls Akari and says, "You don't have to sacrifice yourself. I'll step up myself, but I'm finding my own partner, my own way." Akari bursts into tears of joy and screams that her brother is completely out of his mind. Outside, Kinosaki asks Hikaru to carry her since she still can't move properly. Hikaru has never physically touched a girl in his life, like ever, and literally does not know where to put his hands. Then Kinosaki smiles and drops, "Don't even stress about that, because I'm a guy." Hikaru freezes, processes, looks again. Later, Kinosaki is in the shower singing and calls out for Hikaru to come in. Hikaru panics and refuses. Kinosaki keeps poking at him until Hikaru hides behind a katana he found in the corner. Hikaru asks why he was dressed as a woman. Kinosaki explains, when the target is a man, he goes as a woman. When the target is a woman, he goes as a man. It's just...
Who's ready for a deal? Now, you can order a footlong in the Subway app and get another for free. That's right, Subway Sub Club members, free! Get your favorite sub plus one. Subway, eat fresh, feel good.
You know, I've always found it strange. People really want to save money, but are so willing to toss their hard-earned coin into a 3-foot pool of disappointment.
I want to be rich.
You don't need to throw your money away. All you need is your phone.
Huh.
No. Go to Geico, get a quote, and you could save $900 with your phone.
Look at that, it's ringing.
What? What are you doing, mate?
I'm going in.
It feels good to save some coin. It feels good to Geico.
the job. But what he really loved was the marriage proposal, and says he can teach Hikaru how to win over anyone, guy or girl. He's already signed them up for a dating event, which starts that same day, at midnight. The next morning, they show up to the event. Most of the attendees are men. Kinosaki says he'll pull all of them in his direction while Hikaru focuses on the women. He fixes up Hikaru's look, drops a whole speech about first impressions, and the very first thing Hikaru says when he approaches a girl is that he makes millions a month. Kinosaki implodes, screams that he's going to come off like an arrogant tool who only cares about money, tells him to smile. Hikaru smiles. The girls run away. The afternoon hits and Hikaru is absolutely cooked, looking like someone who just got eliminated in the first round of a tournament. But Kinosaki refuses to let him quit, points out that he got a match on an app and the date is already set. Hikaru goes. The girl asks him to eat something. He doesn't. He was raised this way. Poisoners never eat anything offered by a stranger. The girl looks at the whole situation and dips, convinced she just met the most socially clueless weirdo on Earth. By night, after over 30 dates in a single day with zero results, Hikaru is scrubbing a bathroom to decompress. Kinosaki helps him and says someone will show up eventually, that Hikaru is like a tough piece of marble to sculpt, but the kind that's actually worth it. He notices Hikaru loves making things, asks what that product in his hand even is. Hikaru explains with a genuine spark in his eyes, It's a cleanser he made himself. The best way for him to unwind is scrubbing out stains with heavy-duty chemicals. If he wanted to, he could cook up a solution capable of dissolving solid metal. Kinosaki laughs. They say their goodbyes. Then a car screams out of nowhere and kidnaps Kinosaki. Hikaru runs. Can't catch it. Inside the car, the man introduces himself as the brother of the blonde guy from earlier and asks what Kinosaki did to him. Kinosaki cracks a joke. The guy hurls a lead ball straight at his face. Kinosaki, bleeding, says he'd rather die than get involved with people like this. The guy crushes the lead ball with his teeth and swears he's going to destroy that pretty face of his for good. And then, right in the middle of the bridge, Hikaru appears on the road. With the cleaning solution in hand, he splits the car in half, jumps, catches Kinosaki before the car plunges into the water. Catching his breath, Hikaru says, "Thank you." Says that before meeting Kinosaki, a single rejection would have been enough to send him into a spiral for the rest of his life. Now he's gone through 30 plus in one day and is still standing. He's counting on Kinosaki from here on out. Kinosaki looks up at the sky, being carried in Hikaru's arms, and realizes the guy didn't get a single number all day. So he opens his phone,